17 iconic stars who live on through their look-alike grandchildren. You might know what the children of your favorite Hollywood icons, music legends, and members of high society look like. What about their grandchildren? From Audrey Hepburn to Whoopi Goldberg, here's a look at those stars who bear more than a passing resemblance to the kids of their kids. Number 17. Whoopi Goldberg and Amara Skye. Amara Skye doesn't just share her grandmother Whoopi Goldberg's eyes, cheeks, and glowing smile. She also's got the same birthday as the Sister Act star. Skye appears to be super grateful to be able to call the EGOT winner Granny too. She once captioned an Instagram snap of Goldberg, "I love this woman who makes everything possible for me and our family, a true legend." Number 16. Robert F. and Connor Kennedy. Put pictures of Connor and a young Robert F. Kennedy side by side, and they look more like siblings than grandson and grandpa. Like nearly everyone else in the famous family, the former has faced his fair share of troubles over the years. Personal tragedy struck in 2012 when his mom, Mary, committed suicide, and 4 years later he was arrested following a scuffle while out partying. Connor has also dated one of his cousin, Patrick Schwarzenegger's exes, Taylor Swift. Number 15. Princess Diana and Princess Charlotte. We'll have lots of opportunities to see how closely Princess Charlotte resembles her various family members as she grows up. For now, she's the spitting image of a young Princess Diana. Yes, the future king and queen's first daughter has definitely inherited the sparkling big eyes that made the late royal the most photographed woman in the world. Number 14. Ernest and Dree Hemingway. Dree Hemingway may closely resemble her grandfather, the literary great Ernest, but she hasn't exactly always appreciated his talents. Despite attending an elementary school named after the Nobel Prize winner, back in 2015, Dree told Elle magazine that she couldn't really appreciate his works. She has, though, read several biographies about the grandpa she never met in a bid to feel closer to him. Number 13. Berry Gordy and Sky Blue. Musically, Berry Gordy and his grandson, Sky Blue, are poles apart. The former was responsible for one of the best and biggest hit factories of all time, Motown, while the latter was one half of the novelty electro-pop LMFAO, which has such hits as Sexy and I Know It. But the seemingly unlikely relatives do share several other things in common, namely their big sparkling eyes and beaming smiles. Number 12. Ron Howard and Theodore Howard Gable. Long before he became an acclaimed Oscar-winning director, Ron Howard was a child star on The Andy Griffith Show, and although he has blonde hair rather than red hair, grandson Howard Gable could easily have played his twin. Only time will tell whether the youngster follows in the footsteps of his grandpa, and indeed his mother, Bryce Dallas Howard. Number 11. Errol and Sean Flynn. Most viewers of Nickelodeon hit Zoe 101 probably didn't realize that the cast included the grandson of a bona fide Hollywood legend. That's right, Chase Matthews was played by Sean Flynn, whose grandfather was none other than the swashbuckling hero Errol. In 2013, the former landed a minor role in a biopic on his lookalike grandpa, The Last of Robin Hood. Number 10. Charlie Chaplin and James Terry. Silent movie icon and renowned ladies' man Charlie Chaplin had no fewer than 11 children and subsequently more than 25 grandkids. So it's perhaps little surprise that at least a few have followed in his showbiz footsteps. Terry is one of the more famous, having racked up more than 24 acting credits since 1991's Prospero's Books, and he also bears the strongest family resemblance. Number 9. Samuel and Tony Goldwyn. Tony Goldwyn shot to fame as the villain in Ghost and more recently played a key role in Shonda Rhimes' hit TV series Scandal. But you might not know that the actor was born into Hollywood royalty. Yes, Tony is the grandson of Samuel Goldwyn, the Polish-American film impresario who founded several production studios. And he also seems to have inherited his grandpa's nose, ears, and chin too. Number 8. Grace Kelly and Charlotte Casiraghi. Actress turned princess Grace Kelly is widely regarded as one of the most beautiful women of the 20th century. The Oscar winner had 3 children before suffering a fatal car accident in 1982. But it's one of her grandchildren that's become her most obvious lookalike. Charlotte Casiraghi, the daughter of the Princess of Hanover, possesses the same expressive eyes and graceful facial structure as the Hitchcock favorite. Number 7. Loretta and Taylor Lynn. Taylor Lynn certainly doesn't have any qualms about being compared to her grandmother and country music icon Loretta. The country songwriter will regularly cover songs by the Nashville legend during her own shows and has also shared the stage with her too. In 2020, Taylor proudly showed off an article on Instagram which commented on the notable similarities between their winning grins and striking cheekbones. Number 6. Patty Duke and Allie Aston. Allie Aston first appeared on screen aged just 6, playing her father Sean's daughter Eleanor Gamgee in The Return of the King. The youngster wasn't just following in the child star's footsteps of her dad. Grandmother Patty Duke had also graced the screen before she'd reached her teens. When Allie posted a side-by-side pic of herself and her grandma on Instagram in 2017, her followers couldn't stop commenting on the closeness in physical appearance. Number 5. Joan Rivers and Edgar Endicott. Joan Rivers underwent so much cosmetic surgery that it's inevitably difficult to notice any resemblance to the rest of her family at all. But if you look at a picture of the comedian in her early years, you'll see she looks the spitting image of her grandson, Edgar Endicott. The youngster, who's the son of the late Funny Woman's daughter Melissa, is said to be much sweeter and more polite than his sharp-tongued grandma. Number 4. Carmine Coppola and Jason Schwartzman. British newspaper The Guardian once described Jason Schwartzman as resembling the hybrid love child of Cher, Anthony Kiedis, and Steve Carell. Yet the Rushmore actor has his famous grandfather to thank for his distinctive look. Carmine Coppola, who composed the music for his son Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather sequel, undoubtedly shared similar facial features, not least his dramatically furry eyebrows, as well as his chin and nose. Number 3. Priscilla Presley and Riley Keough. Riley Keough never met her grandfather, aka one of the most famous men ever to walk the planet. Elvis died in 1977, 12 years before she was ever born. But Riley does have a strong relationship and a strong resemblance to her grandmother, Priscilla. This was never more true for the actress than when she sported her red-haired look in Mad Max Fury Road. In an Instagram post, Riley describes her grandma as a queen. Number 2. Martha and Jude Stewart. Martha Stewart has apparently had the same haircut since she was a child, and it appears to have inspired her granddaughter Jude too. The celebrity chef couldn't be prouder of how the youngster and her siblings have turned out. In a 2013 blog post, Martha wrote, "It's always fun seeing the wonder in my grandchildren's eyes. Having Jude and Truman in my life is such a rewarding pleasure." Number 1. Kris Jenner and Mason Disick. Mason Disick must be one of the most famous celeb grandchildren yet to enter their teens. The youngster's birth was even captured on camera for all the world to see in reality TV hit Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Yet Mason is the eldest of Kris Jenner's 10 grandkids and has undoubtedly inherited her dark hair and facial features. As the woman he calls Lovey sure likes spoiling him, she once bought him a Versace coat worth $3,000.